In 1943, Jewish residents of the Warsaw Ghetto launched an uprising to oppose the occupiers' final effort to deport them to the Majdanek and Treblinka death camps. The revolt began on April 19th, after the ghetto refused to surrender to SS Brigadeführer Jürgen Stroop. Stroop responded by systematically destroying the ghetto block by block, ending the resistance on May 16th. This commemorative report documenting the destruction was presented by Stroop to SS Chief Heinrich Himmler. The Stroop report has 125 pages, made up of 31 daily reports covering April 20th until May 16th, 1943. There's also a section containing 53 photos, some of which I'll be bringing to life. This series will concentrate on the reports and photographs and use insights from a book written by Stroop's eventual cellmate after the war, to get a feeling for what kind of man he was. Original rare film footage, sometimes in color, and other primary historical sources will be used. For example, at the end of this video, I'll introduce this short article, so stick around. It's worth it. I promise. These are pages from the infamous Auschwitz album. In episode 2 of the series, we'll see how Jürgen Stroop justifies the creation of the Jewish ghetto on the recommendation of a doctor and the need for practical solutions. When faced with such weighty decisions, the National Socialists regularly relied on the direction from corrupt specialists to provide legitimacy to their lethal policies. In this case, the doctor rationalized the need to quarantine the sickness. That would be the entire Jewish population. Although few, if any, realized it at the time, the groundwork was being laid, which would bring the policy to its logical conclusion. At Auschwitz, it would be primarily the responsibility of the SS doctors, the specialists, to make the on-the-spot life and death decisions for individuals during the selection process. Their medical justification was to cut out the cancer in order to save the body. This is page 2 of the Jürgen Stroop report, which describes the formation of the Jewish ghetto in Warsaw. Die Errichtung eines jüdischen Wohnbezirks, the establishment of a Jewish residential district in the city of Warsaw became increasingly urgent in the summer of 1940 as more and more troops were being concentrated in the area after the end of the French campaign. The health department at that time emphasized the urgent need to establish a Jewish residential district to maintain the health of both the German troops and the civilian population. The originally planned establishment of a ghetto in the Praga suburb in February 1940 would have taken at least 4 to 5 months, given the relocation of nearly 600,000 people. However, since experience had shown that a strong outbreak of epidemics was to be expected during the winter months, the district physician suggested that the resettlement operation had to be carried out by November 15, 1940 at the latest. Because of this, the plan for a suburban ghetto in Praga was abandoned, and the existing quarantine zone in the city was chosen as the area for the newly formed Jewish residential district. In October 1940, the governor instructed the district chief's representative for the city of Warsaw to carry out the resettlements necessary for the establishment of the Jewish ghetto in the city of Warsaw by November 15, 1940. Der so gebildete Jüdische Wohnbezirk in the Jewish residential district thus formed in the city of Warsaw was inhabited by approximately 400,000 Jews. It contained 27,000 apartments with an average of 2.5 rooms. It was separated from the rest of the city by firewalls and partition walls, as well as by the relocation of streets, windows, doors, and gaps in the building line. This footage shows Jews being forcefully relocated to the newly established ghetto. This is a collection of 1939 and 1940 journals, which were produced for members of the German security services, including the SS, the SD, and the police. These rare journals, almost impossible to find in complete collections, are an incredible resource for Holocaust studies. We are looking at journal number 20 from November 1st of 1939. The article is titled Aus einem Gefangenenlager. Frauen drängen sich vor den Zaun. Women crowd in front of the fences, through whose gates hundreds of prisoners pass daily. They are searching for their husbands, who, driven by an irresponsible government, witnessed their world crumble during the span of a month. They await the day that will bring them their freedom. Caring for them was no easy task for the German police. For weeks, they were confined to their clothes. The threat of disease hung like a specter over the prisoner of war camps. Cleanliness, above all, was the primary requirement. Their uniforms had to be disinfected, and the Jews, in particular, required thorough cleaning, as they were vermin-infested. Initially, minor squabbles arose among the prisoners, stemming from the immense psychological strain imposed upon them by the hopeless war. Gradually, through regular work, they rediscovered their sense of self, and with it blossomed the hope for carefree days, which a criminal government had stolen from them. To blame the prisoners, especially the Jews, for their lack of hygiene was typical for the National Socialists. They saw caring for the inmates not so much as a responsibility, but rather a burden that had been thrust on them by the former Polish government's incompetence and pointless resistance. Not only were they taking care of the inmates, but through labor, slave labor, they were giving their lives meaning. This was how roles were to be assigned in the new order. If you like productions like this created from primary historical sources, please take the time to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Patreon supporters get regular access to exclusive footage that can't be shown here. Open a free account on our website military1945.com and stay informed. Thanks for watching.